It's the conclusion of the story, and they completely retold it.
The Tarwin's Gap incident, a buttload of shit, but the end siege of Eregion in Rings of Power.
Worse than the battle at Winterfell?
Ooh, okay, well,
Yeah, right.
I wonder if he's gonna get hung.
Moses?
Hanged.
No, just kidding.
No. Matt.
I hope.
But then also, going back to, Randall Thor and Elida and Morghese, the first book was the proving ground that allowed the whole series to continue. So the first book is a self-contained story in and of itself. And if Morghese would have allowed, Rand to stay there, it would have drawn out the book along way more. And it's also like the first time you get to see someone else confirm Rand's importance outside of Moraine.
That's a good point.
Because when Moraine does it, she identifies a number of people, so you don't know for sure. But since it's all told from Rand's perspective, except the few times that it's from Perrin's perspective when they get split up at Shadar Logoth, you can, or like with Egwene. Actually, no, that also is from Rand's perspective when he's watching.
No, later on, Egwene and Perrin are together, and no, it is. That's all from Perrin's perspective. You're right. That's not from Egwene's.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why. Yeah. So, but since it's mostly from Rand's perspective, you know that Rand is the Dragon Reborn, or at least you should if you have any idea of
is that the only
basic storytelling. That's the first time that someone else impresses upon the reader that Rand is a super important character. So you get that, and it also because you don't really know what you have a faint idea what the dragon is, but you don't really understand it. So when you hear that he is the great harbinger of change and things swirl around him, stuff like that, you get this really ominous prophesizing, which works great in all type of story modes. So that's one really important aspect of her saying that. And of course, obviously, you have to let him go after that because the story has to continue.
Yeah, I hadn't actually considered that because what's funny is having read the books as often as we have, I forget that there was a first time and that I wasn't privy to all the information that I now have in hindsight, having read all 14 plus 1.
Right.
So it's kind of fun to put in perspective. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. At one point, book 1 is all I had ever read. I didn't know any better than The Eye of the World and The Green Man, which, by the way, I'm still not over the fact that the Green Man and the Eye of the World battle didn't play out in the show. That's one of the great sadnesses of my life, I think.
The Green Man, I was very, very much looking forward to seeing him show up in season 1 because as I'm sure many people who read the books were just expecting it too, because it's such an intricate part of the whole story.
It's the conclusion of the story, and they completely retold it. And I get that the conclusion has problems as written, but not as many problems as the story did. And yes, I know season 1 had issues with the cast and COVID and all that stuff. I know that stuff sucks. But you know what? They're pros. She can fucking figure it out, Amazon. God bless it. I'm not going to give them a pass. They can't. They ruined the first book and the finale. We could make an entire video, maybe we will, about just how they screwed up the finale of season 1, and we could probably do the same thing for season 2, actually. But going back to my original point. Oh yeah, but I was just disappointed that we didn't get to see the cool shit, the Green Man, the true battle at the Eye of the World between Rand and basically all a horde of Trollocs and Myrddraal at Tarwin's Gap. Instead, we got disappointing people getting their eyes burned out, and Mary Sue channelers, and a terrible fortification, and pointless death and grandstanding by Egelmar. And I don't understand any of that.
No, yeah. We will definitely have to do a video about how the ending doesn't make sense. Not from a differentiating it between the books and the TV show, but just from a straight up tactical point of view. That whole everything about that last battle and the way Tarwin's Gap is defended, what happens with the women channelers, all of it just breaks a buttload of common sense laws and then some magic laws.
Yeah, there's some actual defined magic laws that it
warfare.
Breaks. That was really frustrating. They just did stuff that wasn't in the book. They made up things could happen to you with the one power that were, I think, explicitly stated not to be so in the books.
Yes, you can. Yeah,
you can't draw enough to burn yourself out, right? Like, I think when they describe... And now, unless you want to hand-wave that away and say Aes Sedai only can say things they believe to be true, whether or not they are true. But I do believe the Aes Sedai seem to know what they're talking about when it comes to linking, because that's one of the things they do a lot. And they also they talk about having a full circle with men and women later on in the book, so that's pretty well understood. No one burns themselves out using a circle. So that was silly and unnecessary.
Yeah, like you didn't need to change those type of fundamental basic rules. Yeah, I don't get it.
And Amalisa being an Aes Sedai or being a channeler was a weird change that wasn't necessary, and making the girls be the focal point of the attack was also not necessary. We have to do a video just on this just to break that down.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's 2 seasons too late, but better late than never.
Yeah, better late than never. Yeah, definitely. We'll do an independent video on that one and it'll be interesting.
You know what I think is?
That one.
I think it's interesting that no matter what we talk about on a stream, somehow it always ends up back to like Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings or something.
Well, that's because it's our bread and butter.
Yeah,
I mean, like Wheel of Time, we both really love. Lord of the Rings, we both really love, but I love way more.
Yeah, you have a bit more of an encyclopedic knowledge of that than I do.
A bit more?
Yeah, I'm being deprecating in my praise so that no one thinks that I'm overstating anything.
Okay, sure. I know I give the Tarwin's Gap incident a buttload of shit, but the end siege of Eregion in Rings of Power, like we're gonna do a video on that too, because I have never seen such drivel before. I mean, like, absolutely
worse than the battle at Winterfell.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, right. It stumped you.
No. Okay, not worse. On the same level. Like, that's how bad it is.
Okay. So that's
but for different reasons.
That's the S tier of bad.
Yeah, like the Battle of Winterfell, like that seriously aggravated me so.
It was so pointless.
Because they spent 2 episodes leading up to it in season 8, and they were just like boring backdrops that like didn't need to happen, and it was just way too drawn out. And they're like, oh my god, Jon Snow and Daenerys are related. Whoop-de fucking doodah.
They're the first cousins ever to have sex, probably.
Yeah, and in the fucking Targaryen family, honestly, fucking
so
cousins
inbred.
pumping each other. Like, come on,
cousins might be too distantly related for their taste.
Yeah. Oh, that could be. I never thought about it that way, but that's ew. But no, like the Battle of Winterfell like makes no sense, especially because you're not fighting an army of people that feel pain, that will have irrational maneuvers.
They'll retreat, and regroup, and
yeah, like you're fighting an enemy that is always on the attack. No mind, no reason, pure what you would call like fury if you're talking about writing, because it's a visceral type of attack. If they're carrying swords, they're hacking at you until you're gone. If they're not carrying swords, they're biting you, they're tearing you apart with their claws. It's a very visceral type of hand-to-hand death. So having your entire force arrayed in front of your pathetic small little castle in comparison to like 100,000 dead things, or maybe more, is absolutely ludicrous. Like, you have your entire Dothraki cavalry charge directly head-on into a mass of zombies. Like, in what universe did anyone ever look at that and think
drew up that battle plan and was like, yep, nothing better can be done here?
Yeah,
At least try to use the defensives of Winterfell in some way. I mean, you have some defenses there. At least try.
Exactly.
And then maybe don't have your entire Dothraki army in one place. Like, all right, if the zombies are dumb enough to come at you and encircle your city, then have the Dothraki be far away, and then come sweep in and do some damage with some dragon glass from behind somehow. I don't know, anything but what they did.
Yeah, anything. Well, there's that. There's the fact that there were no ditches, trenches, lines of fire, except the one that they just won around the castle. You would have put it would have been trench warfare for like miles and miles. No, so like there's no fortifications or no barriers that they try to instill to slow down the horde. this yeah, like as I said, the Dothraki just charge directly head on. They don't try to do any harrying forces, even though that wouldn't necessarily work as well against a horde that's just running at you with senseless purpose. So only thing you can really do in the same way that like the Rodell secures the Valley of Thrakandar.
Oh, with all those. I was actually thinking the exact same thing when you were mentioning those defensive positions. I was like, just like at Thrakandar, with all those bales of thorns and ditches and all kinds of stuff.
Logs of wood that are burning.
Yeah. Use the terrain and the environment.
To your advantage, because you have nothing else when you were fighting Trollocs, zombies, and armies of Fades. You just have to be that type of ruthless.
And he was smart too in realizing that he was basically fighting a war of like embittered retreat. There was no gaining ground for him. It was make the shadow pay for every foot,
for every inch they take. Yeah. It's like the dragon has to win here. If we die, we die protecting him, and if we die and he dies,
doesn't matter anyway. We're screwed. So
yeah. And he's the perfect.
And he's the only one that kind of like resists the compulsion. He's the only one who kind of like feels like something's not right. Like all my instincts are telling me to do this, but my brain is telling me to do something that I know is wrong, and it feels right, but it's not right. And then finally, I think a wolf gets sent, or is it? Yeah, Elias and some wolves come.
No, the wolves,
knock him out,
and gently take his hands in their mouths and drag him away, and he feels an overabundance of leaf. He's like, finally, someone has relieved me of command. That is a great play, like for the, like that happening, but like playing with the shadow, like for playing the shadow, like the compulsion style, manipulating the great generals in the last battle to slowly turn the battle against them, and having to ultimately turn everything over to Matt because of his unreal stopping the one top power from touching him.
He's the only one
like, that is
to compulsion and other forms of interference by the power.
Yeah, that is a great fucking twist. And of course also all his battle knowledge, which somehow he just has in the show because he's the horn blower.
Yeah, that kind of bugged me too, because explicitly in the book, Matt's like, I'm not one of you, right? And then Ardor Hawkwing's like, nah.
You lucked out, but you've done enough to be something like that. Yeah, it's great that joke happens.
Yeah, so making him a horn
and unfortunately can't happen.
Kind of lame. I don't know. Yeah. And the way that he gets his memory is like, I don't know. The Aelfin and Aelfin stuff's kind of cool. He goes through the first time and gets some unexpected answers that make no sense to him, and then he thinks he's going to get the second time, and he's yelling at them the same questions, and they just end up giving him weird, like, he didn't realize he was asking for things like other people's memories, or the Ashandarai, which is now just Padden Fane's dagger stuck to a pole arm. It's kind of disappointing, man. Like,
very disappointing. That weapon in it of itself is amazing. I mean,
it's like his signature style.
The words inscribed on it, like I don't remember, like the treaty. Thus is fulfilled. Something.
Thus is our treaty written. Thus is our oath fulfilled. As it is written, so shall it be done. Kind of words.
Yeah, something like that, but not said in those exact same
Moses.
Targets. Yeah, like
as it is written, so shall it be done.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna get hung.
Moses?
Hanged.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Matt.
I hope.
Moses.
He should. I mean, that's another defining characteristic of his, having being hung as a part of the price he had to pay for those memories and those answers.
Yeah, and I always find it funny too, because he's like, he always wears this scarf, and there's that little moment when Tuon wonders, like, I wonder why he was hung.
Yep.
But he never tells her.
Yeah. He'd be a very, very mysterious person. Like, all right, this guy's he's a genius. He speaks the old tongue. He's like fucking badass on the battlefield and like one-on-one combat or directing troops.
Has insane luck.
Has been hung and survived. Has probably been stabbed.
Has seemingly been everywhere.
Yes.
In the known
world. Knows the Dragon Reborn intimately as like a confidant and friend and trusted general. Like, yeah.
Quotes Ardor Hawkwing like he was there.
Because he
remembers
was.
his face. Like
that's something that he
some-
and Rand have in common out of prophecy for Rand, that he remembers Hawkwing's face.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Matt is such is such a great character. And then of course he's just a mischievous boy at heart half the time too.
Which is why I think Robert
pinching girls'
Jordan
bottoms
wrote
and-
Matt as himself a little bit. I don't know. That's my headcanon. I hope so.
I really hope it's true that happened like that, because that would just be excellent. No. He showed how to make fantasy movies and TV shows like a reality, but no show or movie has lived up to what Lord of the Rings said.
If the Game of Thrones had never been finished, it would still have been thought of better than it is now with a finale.
Yes.
And I mean the TV show, not the book, obviously, because who knows when that, if and when that'll change.
No, that's never good. He's never Robert Jordan, George R. R. Martin's never finishing it.
I think he just got
Or if
so
he did,
turned
I'll be-
off by the way I don't know. I assume he got just sick of the whole thing.
I assume he just got lazy and was like,
But he's written other stuff though, so I don't know if laziness is.
That's actually true. Yeah, he could just have been turned off.
Or-
by it. Like,
or-
it's really hard to, because I don't know what like the state of his mind for this.
Or he's got the fuckets, man.
Like,
He's.
Fuckets is a good possibility too, because you made millions off of this, and now I'm just gonna have fun with like my model train sets and enjoy life and eat a Butler.
Wait, is he a model train set enthusiast?
I thought I heard that once.
Okay, that's kind of awesome.
I
I'm
think-
down with that. That's funny.
May the creator shelter us.
I like the Shyanar and burial rituals like that, and their little mantra, their whatever you want to call it, the
Yeah.
thing they say, the prayer. Gosh, I
Yeah.
couldn't think of the words.
Yeah, their funerary prayer is pretty cool.
Pretty simple.
Exactly what it would be for like that type of warrior society.
Yeah.
That close to the blight, always in fear of annihilation.
And Ingtar, hearing him say that at the end, and the description of the tension leaving his body as he turns to accept the fate, knowing that, someone spoke the words, and that maybe there's a chance for him. God, that's a powerful moment in the book as well.
It really is. And you only see this a few times, but I think like the first one is in Eye of the World. I'm good, yeah. When Rand redeems his mother from the Dark One and saves her from
So
him.
what actually was the story with that? So did the Dark One take her soul, or was she a Dark Friend? Like, why does the Dark One have her? Or does he at all? And is this just like the Dark One screwing with the dragon?
No, I'm going to assume, because like since the first book is...
Well, that's all we've got today. Thanks for watching.
Like, comment, and subscribe down below.
And we will catch you next time.